Okay, good afternoon. This is Tony Hayes from Paranormal Investigation UK, and we're going to look at something a little bit different today. This is still regarding the Chester investigation. As a quick recap, this particular property, or the building itself, has been showing extreme levels of spontaneous activity from about March of 2020 of this year, and it's continued. It originally set out from if you look at the first floor, it's split into two areas with what we call the main office, which is around about 3 separate offices. There's a landing, and then there's across the landing is a second room which is 55 foot long by 35 foot wide. The phenomena started in the main office, it then stopped there, flatlined, and the phenomena was then recorded in the main office. Then just over a week ago, it's come back into the main office. We've got cameras positioned, CCTV cameras positioned in every office over the hallway to see if anyone did enter, the cameras would pick it up. We've got cameras installed into the ceiling area to make sure there's no possibility of any sort of bird or vermin infestation. We've even got cameras on the outside of the building to just really rule out human or any other form of rational reason for this. The owner of the building placed into the empty office yesterday, which is the 19th, and today's the 20th of December, just a straightforward audio recording, recorded about midnight onwards, and then during today he's been listening back and got something quite extraordinary. If we look at the activity he's been experiencing in this building, it is confusing. On one hand, you appear to have spiritual sort of activity, then you also get another series of what appear to be residual haunting activity. You've also got a bit of poltergeist there, you've got movement of objects, so there's a bit of everything going on there. We've had the case since about the 26th of May, and what I've been able to point out is the sheer number of raps, and we're probably dealing with around about 400 plus raps now, are very unique. Those that have been following this case carefully would have seen the frequency of these raps actually produce. The empty office area, so the raps more predominantly in the main office, but we do get these as well in the empty office area. The empty office area, where we've recorded dogs, we recorded voices, EVPs in particular. We've had a little bit of mimicking when we went in there in August of this year. There appears to be some form of intelligence to these raps and knocks, to the old cliche of 1 knock for yes, 2 knocks for no. So as the investigation has been ongoing, we've been able to get more equipment in there. The place now is probably more secure than Fort Knox, because if anyone enters that building, we know about it. So in this particular footage, it was taken around between 6 AM and 6:30 AM this morning of the 20th of December. There appears to be some sort of voices. It's unusual. It's a couple of feet away from the actual camera itself. The camera has not picked up anyone within the room, and secondly, it's picked no audio up neither. Only this single audio recorder has recorded it, which is highly suggestive of electronic voice phenomena rather than something that's actually disembodied. So I'm confident that we can say that if anyone had entered that building or been on the hallway, the cameras would have picked that up, and we would have got a CCTV alarm to suggest that. We've not had that at all. We've also got cameras on the outside of the building, which have been fitted in the main office area overlooking both areas. There's nothing there neither. The buildings tend to be 9 to 5 sort of office space, Monday to Friday. If we lock down, it's almost deserted. And so in principle the only people around there in the morning are the cleaners. How often they go there is debatable, because the empty room itself is empty. There's nothing in there whatsoever, only carpet. That is it. So I'll get straight into this. I've asked the owner to send this footage in around about a minute, 30 seconds to a minute before the actual capture itself in the centre, and 30 seconds to a minute afterwards. The total footage is just 3 minutes in length. So we'll get straight into this one. I'm just using EQ for amplification. I've obviously got the spectrum analyzer to the right there. I'm actually going to amplify this because I've actually heard it on media player normal volume, and it is quite dramatic. So we're going to be reviewing this completely live with you, because I've not heard this on full volume yet. So it's going to be interesting. So I'll start it up and I'll turn the volume up accordingly. I'm not sure how far I can go with the amplification before I begin to induce feedback coming from the microphone. It all depends on the quality of the microphone in the recorder. That's not too bad. We're getting a little bit of input signal there. Yeah, you can see it's waving up there now. I'll just turn that back up and drop that below. Seems to be getting some noise here now. Okay, so it's relatively quiet for 52 seconds. It's obviously going to go further back there. Just I wanted to know what was going on before the sounds could be heard. What's interesting with this is that if you listen carefully, when it gets to this point here, the resonance, the actual sound itself changes. If this is a genuine residual haunting, the dynamics of the room has to change, because this sound just seems to drift in and drift out. What else does that bring with it? It's not. So, for example, if the residual haunting is just a simple voice, is it the voice you hear, or is it other stuff that comes along with it? I've had the theory sometime that I believe that if it is like a time slice from the past, it's suddenly being projected forwards, like the stone tape theory, then you're getting all the sounds from that period of time. That's the logic that's behind this. So if you listen carefully, there's not much going on. Then when it gets to just about 53 seconds, we then begin to find frequency and sounds. It's quiet there. There. Lows. And that noise is constant. There's absolutely nothing before it, as you saw. I'm just going to widen the track. There we go. Now we've got voices. I'm just going to go back and mark this here. I'm just going to put sound start, just so I can go straight back to it. See, it changes. The old sound changes. It's quiet there. this electronic sound and this background noise is there. Someone would have to be in the room to make that sound if it's human. And of course, the cameras didn't allow them. There's nobody was in the room. I will go back and amplify this. I just want to listen to it on normal volume again. This frequency is strange. There's no reason for that to be there. It's almost as if something's going on in the background, which is the same machinery sort of noise, and it's covering quite a range of frequency. And these little blips, you can see it's this sound. Yeah, sound all the way through this clip. There's no explanation for this sound. It just goes from nowhere. Comes from nowhere, I should say. And it's continuing. It's continuing. I'll have to speak to the owner and get the rest of it. What was after was silence before, silence after. So clearly, for 53 seconds or so, there's nothing. All the way through it. Absolutely nothing at all. Then it starts. And that noise is all the way through for 2 minutes. I think we just need a little bit more audio at the end, because I want to know how long this continues for. Okay, what I'm actually going to do now, I'm going to amplify it. We're going to lift quite a lot of the background noise, so it will get a bit noisier, but hopefully we might be able to just pick out some other sounds which we may be able to enter in, or should be able to announce them actually. Sounds like a hollow. It's almost like listening to a railway station where there's somebody calling out the train, and there's this background noise like factory noise, much closer sounds. All I'm going to try and do look into this voice to see if we can get this sounding a bit better. the main frequency. Yeah. It's certainly voice frequency without question. Okay. Give it a bit more volume. Talking continuing. That's machinery humming. Singing. There's a machinery. I think I've got to try and rule out any possibility of the cleaners. 6:30 Sunday morning. There isn't any sound on this. I can hear on other recordings people shutting the outside door, the doors that enter. If you open the door that leads into this empty office, undoubtedly you hear the door slam. Very distinctive. I've analysed a high number of them from this building. There appears to be no bangs of that type of occurrence. If anyone had entered the main office area, the camera would pick it up anyway, immediately pick it up. So if someone's in there with you, for example, it's just going to bring it straight up. So I'm confident no one's actually in the room. There is a hallway that leads out the door down to the stairs to the ground floor, then out of the building. It's possible that somebody's in there. I'm confident it's not a hand dryer. Someone would have to be on the landing with a hoover, but the actual sound goes on for just over 2 minutes because if you look at the frequency, this is just ground feedback from the microphone. When it gets to 53 seconds, all the sound frequency changes. That's pretty constant. That's microphone feedback. Background noise is picking up. Here we go. You see it change now. be something starting. Devices. Second voice has female. If you listen to this, use headphones. Quality headphones. Over ear preferably. Machinery. Extraordinary. Yet the CCTV camera that's positioned next to it doesn't pick it up, and no one entered the room, otherwise it would have alerted. I think I just need to speak to the owner of the possibility that the cleaners may well have been in this room, not in this room but on the hallway area, and I also need more footage towards the end. We've got silence here. This sound is strange. I can't think of anything which would cause this sound. I just turn it down just a touch. That is. And this bit. Almost like railway station noise. I'm really not sure what to make of this. Okay. Now we're dealing with a rational, natural occurrence such as people. I know it's 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning in a building that should be empty. Go and do some cleaning, some work, that type of thing. Or is this a genuine residual haunting? Because only this audio recorder picked it up. No way did the cleaners go into the main office area, because them cameras would have picked it up. Man, it's just a small hallway. Right, okay. Watch this space on this one.